What's going on, guys? This is RJ Game News USA here, and this is probably the biggest news story that I've ever covered. It directly affects everything I cover on my channel. We have 5 pillars on this channel for the most part when it comes to what we cover. That's TV and film, sports, WWE, video games, and movies. I might have already said movies. Whatever. Movies, TV shows, video games, nerd stuff, sports, WWE, you name it, okay? That's what we cover, right? And I appreciate y'all being here, and please hit the sub button. Well, Netflix has bought Warner Bros. Discovery for $72 billion, which just outdoes Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard for $70 billion, making this now the biggest acquisition in entertainment history, essentially. And there is a lot of shit they just got here. And we're going to cover all of it. We're not going to read the news articles about the business and the shares and all that shit. That's all boring. Okay? I want to talk about what IPs Netflix just obtained, what services Netflix just obtained, and then wildly speculate on what could be canceled or brought back, possibly. One thing I'm going to say, though, right off the bat, with any of these acquisitions, and one reason I'm against this acquisition, every time we see an acquisition like this, people get fired, they lose their jobs, and for that reason alone, I would deny this acquisition unless we got a guarantee of no layoffs for 10 years. We won't have that happen. This is America. This acquisition's going through. So when inevitably people do lose their jobs, I will rage the fuck out, as you guys know. But let's start with the video game angle of this. Now Netflix owns IPs like Mortal Kombat, Batman, Lego, and the Middle-earth games. Netflix, I think they recently give up on game streaming recently. I don't know how hands-on Netflix is going to be with that crap. You know what I mean? Are they just going to let the projects cook? Are they going to intervene? I'm going to say they probably let the projects go as is, video game-wise. But I'm hopeful that they'll go ahead and bring Batman back. Because Batman had a really good trilogy of games. And we could use some more of that. But now with their tie-in with Lego, I could see Lego Netflix doing a lot of stuff. A lot of, Imagine a Stranger Things Lego game. Stuff like that. But we'll have to see. Next, I want to talk about streaming services. Now Netflix owns Max and Discovery Plus. This is probably top of mind for people. What does this mean for your streaming service? I mean, Netflix could just simply go one of 3 paths with this, okay? Path 1, the most likely, they keep the services running separate from Netflix and potentially have bundles, okay? That, I believe, is the most likely outcome. Option 2, they raid the IPs, bring them over to Netflix, and then shutter the services. That's a little harsh, but it's on the board of possibilities. And outside of that, I don't know what they would do. But then we got to talk about television networks. They now get the Discovery Channel, TLC, HGTV, Food Network, Animal Planet, CNN, TNT, TBS, truTV, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, HBO. Okay, a lot of this is going to be interesting. How much of this comes to Netflix? How much of Netflix goes there? We don't know these things. You know what I mean? But is this going to cause the cost of Netflix to raise? if they include all this stuff, it would have to go up, obviously. Or they just keeping it separate. That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. But when you look at those television networks, it affects sports as well. TNT and TBS, they cover the French Open, they cover hockey, they don't cover basketball anymore. Cartoon Network, more animated shows. HBO itself and Max itself, remember, a popular show right now is Welcome to Derry. What happens to that thing? Do they cancel it? I hope not. Do they put it in the Netflix brand? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to fathom what's happening. Netflix is really notorious for canceling good shows. There's been so many good shows I've watched on Netflix where they cancel the shit. Or they take so long to develop, like Stranger Things. And then, when it comes to studios and film, you got Warner Bros. Pictures, New Line Cinema, Cartoon Network Studios, and WB Animation. And the DC Universe. That's a lot of movies now. Netflix could go one of two paths with this. They could just be okay with the theatrical releases and rake in the money traditionally. Or, the worst case scenario, they could say, instead of a theatrical release, we're going to put all this IP directly on Netflix, which would save the consumer a bunch of money, but it would probably maybe crash the theater industry for good, which I do not want to happen. I go to the movies still at least a dozen times a year. It's at least a monthly thing for me. I never want to go away. And if all these things go to streaming, all these properties like Harry Potter, Lego, The Matrix, Halloween, all that goes straight to Netflix or something, then theaters they're gonna be struggling. The Conjuring franchise, oh my. And then, we got to talk about wrestling. AEW should be a little nervous right now. Netflix already plays Monday Night Raw. It's clearly the bigger brand is in WWE. So, Tony Khan, I think, was looking to extend a TV deal. I don't see any reason why AEW isn't one of the first things that Netflix says, nah, you're not profitable enough. You don't make enough money for us. Tony Khan should be worried right now. On the flip side, spectacularly enough, there is a universe where Netflix asks for, maybe even demands, a WWE AEW crossover. Again, pie in the sky, but that's on the board of things that could happen. I mean, think about all the things that WWE has, all the properties WWE has. Everything from Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Batman, Animaniacs. It the Clown, Pennywise. 90 Day Fiance, Property Brothers, Naked and Afraid, Discovery Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives from the Food Network. Game of Thrones could be revived. And here's what I really hope we get something new from it. I know it'll be weird, but I don't give a fuck. I just want more. The Sopranos. Let's see The Sopranos. Let's bring it back. New family. Well, same family, but totally different setup. You know what I mean? You could have, Tony's great-grandkids by now, or grandkids running around, I don't know, being the main people. I don't know, but I'm just saying, The Sopranos need to come back, bro. That would be freaking great. And there's Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, Dexter's Lab. It's The amount of properties here that Netflix now owns is just absolute overkill. It's too much. It's just like when Xbox bought Activision Blizzard. You'll never revive enough of these properties because you just have too much on your plate. This is too much. But I mean, imagine the crossovers you could have. I'm just excited for that. So again, time will tell how this merger will go, if it'll be passed or if it'll be good or bad for the consumer. But I just want to let you guys be aware of what's going on. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited Netflix bought Warner Brothers Discovery? If so, let me know. If not, let me know. This is RJ signing out. Have a good one.